Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to be doing a quick unboxing of a Kickstarter that I just got in. It's Machina Arcana. This is one that's going to be really fun to play. I'm excited for this one. This is the premium game pledge from the second edition that I backed way back in July of 2019. So it's been a little while, but at least it came at a pretty alarmingly quick pace when it comes to Kickstarter. Also in this box are a few add-ons. I was actually going to open the box and just put it out and start unboxing it, but after I opened it, I wanted to show you how well they packaged this game. They've been doing a fantastic job of packing games lately coming from Kickstarter. So I just want to quickly open this up. Now, if you notice, there's a lot of peanuts and everything, but the thing I'm really excited for is, first off, I got the card sleeve pack that came with it. So lots of great card sleeves. But here's what's really exciting. I backed it with the actual PlayvMats, and I was really worried that these might come damaged somehow from being packaged, but they packaged them really nicely in here by not actually folding them. Because you fold one of these, it's pretty much done. It's really hard to get it out. But they nicely were able to just fit these in the box with these peanuts, so it looks absolutely pristine. So I'm excited to bring all these out, show you every one of these mats and also the game. There's going to be probably 4 mats in here plus the actual big player thing itself here. Here's the actual game player mat. So I'm going to put all these out there so we can see it when we're finally done. I'm just excited to get to the game itself. Again, more player mats. There should be about 4 of them in here because I can play with up to 4 players. I think it even comes with a 5th player variant as well that was unlocked during the game. And here's the rest of the peanuts. Then, of course, underneath here is the game itself. Now, this, of course, is the deluxe pledge, the premium pledge, so it actually comes with the extra scenarios that were part of that. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this box. We're going to put this one down, and we're going to dig right into Machina Arcana by Adrena Games. Are you excited to see what's inside this box? If so, then I need you to meet me at the table.
High-class roller, find yourself on top of a hill.
I've gone ahead and taken it out of the shrink wrap. This is Machina Arcana, the actual game box itself, the deluxe edition pledge, so it has some bonus materials. Now, this game is a 1 to 4 player steampunk type dungeon crawler with a branching narrative scenarios that go along with it. I'm really excited to dig into this game. It brings some special things that I don't have in any of my other games. So we're going to go ahead, take the box off, and see what there is. All right, if we look at it right away, it looks like we've got, what is this? This looks like a thing that tells us a little bit about some of the rules, I'm guessing, and kind of what's in the game. Here's the game manual, and this is the 2.0 rules. This game was originally a 1.0. There is a game out there, but I didn't back that one. I backed the 2.0 version, the second edition that they put out. So there might be some rule variant differences from the first game to this one. So as we play through it, if people have watched other playthroughs, some of the rules may have changed. Now, the first thing we have is some of our punch boards, and some of them look like they got punched out. So they punch out pretty easily. That's pretty good. You can't have anything but nicely punched out pieces. Yeah, they punch out absolutely fantastically easy, as you can tell. So some of them are already missing. So here we have some of the health tokens down here. Up here, we have some of our explored or light tokens. I believe they're probably going to be, everything's double-sided. So this is your light token. This is your explored token. Also on here, we have destroyed door tokens, which are over here. And then we also, I'm going to guess these are going to be for probably the campaign stuff or the scenarios themselves. They're going to be like exploring markers or something. Then we have, of course, horror markers right down here. There's some of the horror markers. All right, we're going to put this one aside. Now, as we continue, there's even more punch boards, and they're nicely saran wrapped together. So we're going to open this up and look at all of them. So our first tile, here's our scenario tile. You're going to be putting down your scenario right here, and then the other part of it's going to have like a picture that has to do with it, which is really cool how they all do this. Now, of course, these are, if you can tell, are nicely indented, so when you're moving things along the track, they don't get bumped out. That's a really nice feature in games. We continue with some of the punch boards. Here's some of the monsters, and here's our heroes. Now, if you notice, there are no miniatures in this. I know, a game without miniatures that I actually own. What a surprise! But this one is going to be really awesome. The standees are really nicely done. Look at some of the art on these things. Oh, man. Now, sometimes you can't capture that kind of art inside a miniature. So I'm really excited to have one that actually has a bunch of standees. Now, of course, we still have some of those other punch board things that are exactly the same as before that we've seen. But here's some more of the enemies that we're going to be fighting through this actual game. Here's another punch board that has very similar stuff. These are some of the characters, and of course some more of the monsters. Look at this one, the spawn. Oh, wow. All right. And then we've got one more. Again, we've got more adventurers up here, and then some more enemies. The rat thing. The ghoul. All right. And of course, these are all the same. These are those light and explored tokens. We also have our health tokens for health, and also I believe it's will, I think, is the other one. So you have two different types of stat values that you're going to have to try to balance. And of course, we have more destroyed doors. Now, the rest of these are all different dungeon tiles that we're going to have. So I'm just going to go ahead and look at one at random so we can see what one looks like. But then we're going to go ahead and put the rest of them back. But just know this, there's a whole bunch of dungeon tiles in there. So this one is going to, if we look at it, it's got some really cool art on it. And it's double-sided, so there's also some art out here. Now, of course, each one of these spaces is going to be used by your character when it's performing actions. Now, I haven't actually played the game yet, so I don't know what they all do. I believe this one is like a trap one. Let's see here, what else we got? I think these are chests, and as you get chests, you're going to be able to get items. And this is, like I said, a very steampunky type world, so you can get like swords, guns, things like that. And we have, I believe, oh, here's a workbench. That's pretty cool. This is going to be probably something you use in the actual story that we're going to be playing through. These, I believe, are going to be spawn areas, but don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure. I apologize if that's wrong. So here's what at least one of the tiles looks like. And then on top of that, it comes with 3 different tiles: Horror in the Ice, Statue of Despair, and the Beast. These are special tiles for that scenario. So I don't want to actually look at these yet. I'm going to be surprised when I actually see them. And so will you when you get your copy, or if you actually watch a playthrough of the game. So this is what, if you get to the last one, I believe you're going to have to do something on this tile. So like I said, I'm not going to spoil it. So those were some of the tiles and stuff for the base game. Now this, when I originally brought it out, I was going, I don't know what this is. This is Recurrence and Geometry of the World. These are the expansion stuff that I picked up as well. It's made it more of the deluxe version of the game. So apparently in this box, I'm going to find these other things. That's what this is for. I was a little confused because I know the base game comes with 3 scenarios, and I was wondering where the ones for the actual Recurrence and Geometry of the World. Well, they're right here. They tell me they're in the box, so we'll see how we do. Now, of course, the next set of boards we have are our Explorer boards. We have 4 of them. So we have 4 different Explorer boards that we can play. Now, this game can be played 1 to 4. Now, they do have a 5th person, I believe, variant. I don't know if I picked that up, but we do have 4 here for all our characters. Now, there's a neat little bag. I love to have these little drawstring bags. These look really cool. Plus, it has a really cool picture of their logo on it. Here's all the different things, standee tokens. We're going to put the standees in there. That's what these are for. These are going to be the things that we're going to be putting on our character boards as we move up and down with our stamina and our health and things like that. These are going to go on our player boards. I'll show you how that works. So here's an example of the player board. So you're going to be moving these up and down the tracks on your characters based on what happens. So if you take 2 health, you're going to move that thing down 2. And they're all indented very nicely, as you can see. So they're not going to be jostled around very easily. Well, okay, apparently they kind of fall out a little bit, but just don't bang it around too much. But it does actually, they flow in here pretty nicely. And then you have your, I think it's will, and you have energy as well, and stamina, I believe. And as you use the different things, just move them up and down. That's how these little things work. They look really cool, and I'm pretty excited for how well they work. Now back to the unboxing. We've got something else. We've got awesome dice. These dice look really cool. Take a look at what they did here. They have all these different dice. They're etched and they have their own little thing here that shows what they're going to be doing. They got 0s, 1s, and 2s. Some of these dice do 1, 2. Some of them do 1, 2, 3. So depending on what weapon you're using or what you're fighting, you're going to be rolling certain dice. Of course, they just look fantastic. Look at these dice. They look really nice. And they neat little symbols in there. They're nicely etched. All right, cool. I like those. And of course, we've got more stands for our standees. Those are going to go over here. And then look at all these cards. We've got tons of cards. And of course, some of the punch board stuff that has already been punched out for us. Thank you so much for punching it out. Random moving around in a truck. All right, so we got some of these things. And so let's go ahead and take a look at all these cards and see what's in them. So the first pack of cards we saw, these big cards, these are our story cards. Now, I don't want to go through too many of them, and I don't really want to show off too much of it, but so this one right here says Resurgence Endgames. That must be the card when you get to the end of that one. We also have Geometry of the Voids. This must be like the setup card for it. Nope, it's just a picture. All right, let's see what else we got in here. What's this one? I don't even know. It doesn't say anything on it, but these are really neat. Oh, I like the back of these. Horror in the Ice. All right, so let's look at this. This must be like the setup card. Oh, okay, yep, here we go. Setup card. So set aside 15 Explorer tokens. It's going to tell you kind of what you need to do to play through this scenario. And I'm sure a lot of that's going to also be found in the manual. Here's Horror in the Ice again. Oh, look at that picture. It's a very nice picture. Wow. All right. So these are a lot of the story cards. But look at how many there are. It's a giant story. And of course, it's a branching campaign. So you can play this multiple times and kind of go through different paths of the story based on what you've done inside the game as you're playing it. This next pack of cards is all of our enemies and our heroes. So there's just an absolute ton of enemies in here. Look at that guy. Wow. Now I don't actually believe I know all the stats. I think this is health. How much willpower it has, its armor. I believe that's what those are, but don't quote me. I'm not sure. Oh, here's some of the characters in the game. We have John Abigail, and of course, he's got his own stats down here. And again, I apologize. I don't know what all the stats do. I'm excited to dig into this and see how this all plays out. And then here's some more enemies. Now, these might be from some of the Kickstarter exclusive stuff, or not necessarily exclusive stuff, or it could be also part of the expansion that I was able to pick up that was built into the game. Let's see, here's some more characters here. We got Gunther. Now, I don't know, of course, which ones came in the base game and which ones are actually the newer ones. I apologize. We have Kim Richards. She is a gunman. Attack 1, range, reduce range by 1 this round. All right, I'll have to look into that, see how good that is. And here's some more enemies. Wow, look at that. The art on these cards is really, really good. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. And of course, each monster has its own rating. So the rat thing is like a level 1 type monster. So you should be able to beat this thing relatively easy. But of course, it does go up to level 2 and 3s. Here's some more characters. Wow, we got a whole ton of characters. What was 8, 12, I think, in here that I just saw just looking through really quickly. Wow, that's amazing. There's probably even more. Like here's one right here. So there's even more. Wow, there's so many characters you can be. That's going to be really cool. Next, we have all our items and weapon cards. So we're going to go ahead and look through some of these and see what we can see. There's an absolute ton of cards in this game. It's pretty amazing. So the first one are weapons. There's about 51 weapons in here. Now, of course, these weapons might also have more from the expansion and maybe also from the Kickstarter stuff that opened up as well. I mean, I haven't counted if there's 51 of them. Let's go ahead and take a look at one. What is this? It says Jagged Crambit. It's attack of 1. I believe it's one-handed, and I'm believing this might be like it's a level 1 type item. I don't know exactly. I apologize. And this is, of course, its range value that it has. Let's see if I can find here. Check this one out. This says it is a pressurized rail. It increases the weapon's attack roll by 3. So it doesn't actually do anything on its own, but if you can, here we go. If you can connect it to another weapon, it can actually give that weapon a benefit. And then as you connect more things to this weapon, obviously you can't connect like this. You got to find something that has it down here. But as you connect them, you're able to kind of craft these amazing ultimate weapon type things as you're playing through the game. So again, I don't want to spoil too many of them. I just want to show a little bit of some of the weapons. Next, we have our consumables. They're right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the consumables. Our first one we found is a Energizing Pulse. I can restore 2 health to an explorer or reduce monsters' max stamina by 2 this round. All right, so that's something you can use as a consumable. Let's check out another one. We've got, what's this? It says Ancient Puzzle Box. Oh, wow, it looks like something out of Hellraiser. It says choose to restore 2 essence, gain item, or invoke explorer event. Well, that sounds a lot better than if you found the Hellraiser puzzle box, that's for sure. So we've got that one. Those are a couple of them. Again, don't want to show everything, but here's what some of those consumables look like. Next, we have artifacts and apparels, and they're kind of all mixed together. I'm going to have to separate them as we play. Now, again, I don't know if these are the ones from the base game. Of course, there's some stuff unlocked, but there's just some of the stuff. So let's go ahead and look at one of them. We have found a Apsu Chandler. Adjacent to spawn space, teleport to any spawn space or a new chapter. Restore 1 health to an explorer. All right, so that's something. Let's see if we can find another one of those. Here's one. It says, what's this one do? It says Radiant Proliferous. I probably butchered that. Reduce adjacent monsters' attack roll by 1. Increase adjacent explorers' attack rolls by 1. All right, so that's actually a pretty good little item, I believe. Sounds pretty good at least. All right, let's see what some of the apparel looks like. We've got a pair of legs, it looks like. It says Reconnectries. When you explore a new map tile, restore 6 stamina. Oh, that's kind of good. Here's another one. Dead Alliance Clasp. You can activate map spaces targeted by 2 squares away. So here's some of the apparel things. And again, I don't want to go through everything. I don't want it all spoiled. Now, returning to the box, there's only 3 sets of cards left, and I believe a lot of these are going to be our events, and also I believe it's our horror event type things. So the first one I opened was all going to be Explorer action cards and some horror cards in here. So they're all kind of mixed together. So all three of these decks are exactly the same. We've got this one, and the other one as well. They're all exactly the same. They're kind of mixed together with these explorer actions and horror actions. So we're just going to go ahead and take a look at some of these. So here's like a core action here. It says, solace through pain. And I'm going to guess this is going to help you. I don't want to read it all. When any explorer is hit, reset spawn rating. That's pretty good. And of course, there's a little bit of flavor text for those, which is pretty cool. And let's see, maybe we can find one of the horror events in here. Here's one. All right, let's see what that one says. It says, clarity of understanding. Of course, there's some really neat text that's going to go along with, will help immerse you in the game. And it says, when an explorer restores health, they lose an essence. Oh, that's going to be probably pretty bad, because I'm guessing the horror ones are not good and the explorer action ones are really good. So that's really all the stuff that's in the base box, or sorry, the box with the 2 expansions itself. And now I also want to show you some of the mats that this game came with that I actually pledged for as well. So here's one of the player mats. I'm a sucker for these Neoprene mats. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I love them in all of my games. Now, if you didn't want to use the Neoprene mat because, of course, it doesn't have the indentation like the neat little player board does, you could still go ahead and put it right back on there if you wanted to use it that way. But it doesn't have to be on there. You could just play them straight like this and have your little tokens sitting on there and moving around the board as you will. Now, of course, you can also put things over here, and you can lay out all your items that you've been amassing on this side as well. Now this mat is our story mat. So for example, we could have our story card here that we're reading and then have the picture of it up here. So here's kind of where our story would go. And of course, as you can tell here, it shows the 2 different types of cards that we've just looked at, those horror cards and also our hero actions, encounter our hero cards as well, and then the discard pile for them. And then I believe we're able to put all of our little item cards right on there as well. So we can set up this whole area where all the cards go just right on this mat. It's really cool. I like the way this works. So as we play through it, you just flip over the next story and you keep going. And then the final one is this whole player area mat. Now, of course, the player area is able to hold these tiles very well, so they fit in there perfectly. Of course, it's not indented or anything. We're just going to have to put them on there. But it holds up to 4 tiles, and that's okay. It sounds like you might need more, you might need less, but basically the way this game works is if you're on this tile, you move to this tile, and then you move off that tile, this whole thing shifts, and a new tile will come into place. And anything left on this tile over here, I believe, is gone. That's how this game works. Now, of course, down the bottom, we're able to put our monsters. So we have all our monster cards there too. Everything is accessible at this point in the game. And of course, you can put your story one right over here, over there, or even on top or bottom if you want. And then, of course, the players can sit along either the side or the top or bottom as well. So this game is going to look absolutely gorgeous once it's on the table. So I've gone ahead and set out all the mats, so it's going to be like a 4-player game. And I also want to show you this. When I originally showed off this mat, the story mat, this is actually supposed to go right on here. That way you can put your 2 cards there, and you also have access to all the different token areas on the actual story elements of the game. Now I've set up for 4. Let's go around and pan through this entire board just to show you what it looks like while you're on the table playing this game with all these mats. Now I'm going to go into kind of a handheld mode, so it might be a little rocky, but I just want to show you. So you got one person over here, another person sitting over there. You've got that story element here. Now, of course, you've got the entire area where the map is, and you've got the other person that can sit over here, and then one final person down here. Now, of course, you could lay this whole area with the story map this way, and then you could have one person here and one person down here, kind of in the 2 areas here, and then 2 over here as well. So there's many different ways you could set this up. But it's really cool, and it takes up a lot of room on the table, but it looks absolutely fantastic if you pan out and see this entire thing all set up out here on the table to be able to play. Oh, it's going to be absolutely awesome. I can hardly wait to get to this game. And that comes to the conclusion of our unboxing of Machina Arcana. I do hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, I apologize. I'm really excited to dig into this game and see how it's played. Now, if you're looking for a really great playthrough of this game, go check out Doug Herring. He did a playthrough of the 1.0 version, or the original Kickstarter version of this game. I'm going to put a link to it in the description below. Until I can get mine out there, please go check out his. He did a very good job. If you enjoyed the unboxing, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell symbol so you know when our playthrough begins of this amazing game. Also, please leave anything in the comments below. I'd love to hear from everyone. Have you heard of this game? Have you seen this game? Are you excited for this game? Have you got this game? And have you been playing this? Is it a lot of fun? Tell me what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're excited to see what comes next, then I need you to meet me at the table.